Welcome to the Drop In with Pindi podcast from Warriors TMA Academy, a podcast for everyone from business inspirational leaders, combat sports enthusiasts, martial artists, and fitness fans. Together, we can build our self-discipline, confidence, and positive mindsets through great leaders. Now, here's your host, coach and former pro fighter, Pindi Madahar.
Hi everyone, welcome to podcast number 2 here with Pindi Madahar at the Warriors TMA Academy. I'm honored to be here today with my good friend, my brother, James Dixon, everyone, from Stay Ready Training. And I'm just looking to get stuck straight in and hear this man's story. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. So,
what an intro.
Yeah, what an intro. Let's get stuck straight in, man.
I don't know if I can live up to it, guys.
You certainly can, man. You sure can. Guys, I've known JD since I started competing and training in the mixed martial arts. We got to share a lot of fight nights together. We were on a couple of fight nights together back in the day when MMA was, I would say, up and coming in the UK. Wasn't at a big stage, but up and coming. And we got to train. We had multiple training camps together. Remember F's gym with Mick and from Mark, and it was great times back in the day. So it makes it sound like old dogs. We're not.
Well, like I said, if you can zoom in, guys, look at a little bit of salt and pepper in his beard. I always bring it up. But we are. Like, reality is now, mate, what? I'm 34, turning 35 now.
I'm 32, guys.
Yeah, I know you are, but I look younger than him.
Yeah.
But it's mad that actually we've been around the sport. I've stepped away from the sport and stuff, but if we had carried it in the sport, actually we'd be the kind of the older guys on the scene now, and probably the oldest guys.
The seniors almost.
Yeah,
that's a scary thing. Isn't
that
it?
is the mad stuff. And I think when we were fighting, or when we started training, or I know it wasn't. It was still very much. Oh, he's a boxer. Oh, he's a wrestler. Oh, he's got a Thai background. I know there's still a case of that now, but like look at Tom Breeze, for instance. He's got a background in MMA. Yeah. He legitimately turned up at F's and started to do the Thai boxing, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, and he might have favoured one at the time, but he started as mixed martial arts, where we started differently.
From a Pacific
I started
background.
Judo. So I did judo when I was like a youngster.
Yeah.
Boxing in like the teens, and then when I was ready to, and we're going to go into the story a little bit more, but when I was, and then I kind of got into MMA, but I had these other backgrounds. The kids now on the scene who are the 20 to 30 year olds or whatever, MMA is their sport, right?
100%. I completely agree with that. The sport for me is I'd have to say in the last 10 years, it's just completely evolved. In the last 5 years, it's just gone from strength to strength, and it's great to see the youth nowadays and the development. It's just unbelievable. But we've got loads of stories to share,
we're going
and
off on track.
I can't wait to get into it. But JD, let's start with what made you decide, man, this is it. I want to get involved in mixed martial arts, because back then, and I'll say this, back then it wasn't a massive deal. It wasn't compared to what it is now. UFC wasn't available as much as it was, and it wasn't very commercialized on TV. It's pretty much I remember watching UFC on YouTube and stuff like that. So
what YouTube and the like DVDs from your mates. You'd be like, I've got this DVD. Can I borrow it? And you're like, and you watch them like that. Compared to now, it's the mainstream. So for myself, I've always been really a competitive person. I like to think that I err on the side of healthy competition rather than, I think the word's narcissistic, or like, I don't want to prove that I'm better than people. I don't want to like rub it in people's faces, but if I'm going to do something, I like to be good at it, and I like to have, I suppose it's not even recognition for it. I just like to be good at what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do it, I want to do it. I want to do it properly. For instance, I really enjoy my coffee. So now I've got my espresso machine. I've got my AeroPress. I know about the grams. I know about how to grind final course. I know the brewing times. And if I'm going to do it and I enjoy it, I'm going to get into it. So I've always been one of those. So I was into sports. Basketball was my main sport. We've kind of mentioned that. I did other sports like judo and stuff alongside growing up. And then I got into more powerlifting, bodybuilding, or getting stronger. And one of my friends at the time, boxing, was a guy called Chris Troughton. And little Chris had a couple of pro fights, but by far one of the best boxers I've ever seen, just in person. I remember he started to go down to F's freestyle and quickly got a fight, because I know Mark was like, your hands are next level. I think he sparred with Chris Cooper.
Oh,
and
okay,
like Chris was a heavyweight, legit K1
Talking about Chris Cooper, he's still around, isn't he? He's still competing.
I think he is, yeah. But I remember, like, we're talking like featherweight, and could hit as hard as like a heavyweight. He could really hit. Then he said to me, I'm doing this new thing called MMA, and I'm going over to Birmingham and doing some wrestling at F's Freestyle. You should come, you'd love it. At the time I was I think 16 stone, really into my strongman stuff, really into shaved head, really into that, like, lifting and strongman. And I came over, and I remember spending like 45 minutes of this session just on my back being battered by people, and I was thinking, I'm competitive. I should be doing better at this. Like, I'm younger than these guys. I feel fitter than these guys. What's going on? Yeah, stronger. What's going on? And it just hooked me straight there and straight then, that actually this is a great way of testing your skills, pushing yourself in a safe environment. And I think we were blessed to walk into a gym like F's with Mark Goddard, Mick Brosker, and F. And we had other people like Chris Rice at the time was training out there. Ross Mason was training out of there. These guys, like, old school, but legit, also good guys. They weren't. I don't want to use any profanities, but they weren't silly people. Like, don't get me wrong. They were nice guys, and they can handle themselves. And it taught me. Whoa! And we had some people come in sometimes with attitude problems with that, and they got dealt with on the mat, legit, like, safely, and it just made me kind of go, I want to get good at this, because I like that. So anyway, I've kind of gone.
No. It's
I just like
to start the journey.
Yeah, so I just like to be competitive, and then it was like, right, I want to train with the best people.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate we walked into this gym, because in my eyes, still to this day, that was a really legit. They were good people. Now,
well, actually, it speaks for themselves, because look at where everyone is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was saying this to JD before we started, but like we were just talking about how we started and who we had around us, and we were honoured. We were very blessed to have people like Mark guiding us and telling us, like, the rights and the wrongs of the sport, and we honestly, I think we were in the safest hands possible. For the sport.
I think so. I think that they speak for themselves. The careers they've had and the people they've brought through and trained with. We've been blessed to say that we've graced the mat with, like, the Edwards brothers. Do you know what I mean? Aidan now's going on to do what he's doing in Bellator. I know Mickey Two Guns out of Renegade. Like, I've been on the mat with all these, and I know it's all branched off to different things. Of course. But I look back and go, did I train with the best people? I'd like to think I tried to go out of my way. Like, that's why I came down here early on, sparred with you. You had, like, your Thai background, and I made a conscious effort of travelling to go to these places. So
that's it. That's
how I got into it, really.
Awesome. And then, obviously, with mixed martial arts, we started, as you're saying, at a young age. Same with himself. And the reason being, obviously, I want to get you on here is because you've travelled the world through mixed martial arts, but more so, when you were saying earlier when we introduced, you were saying you come away from the sport.
Yes, yeah. So I've not been, mate. When was I? I don't even know when I last fought.
I think the last time you fought was the same. It was on. I remember I was on the same show, and it was at Wolverhampton Racecourse.
Yes.
I can't remember the year.
Mate, it was long.
But it's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. It's got to be 8, 9 years ago. That's what I mean. So I've been out of the sport. Yeah. So when I talk now, I'm a fan. I don't train any martial arts at the moment. I got injured, had a fight cancelled on me.
I think that was your last prep, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Training for the fight, but you got cancelled.
And it just got a lot. And I remember thinking, so I had that fight. I won that fight first round, stoppage, ground, like the ref stopped me. I can't think of the word.
TKO.
TKO. I remember Mark and Tom were in my corner. I remember finishing it and I'm thinking, let's get the next one booked. Yeah. Let's get on this. I'm on this side. Like, Tom had already gone on that journey. Yeah. Like Tom was already ahead of me. And it was like, right, I've seen where Dave Hill's gone. I've seen what Pindi was. I think you had been on Bama and come back and fought on the same show, or maybe. Yeah. So I was like, right. And I remember Mark saying to me, yeah, Bama will be the way we go. We'll fight on another promotion, like I think it was called Fight Stars.
At the time, Bama was the main UK show.
Yeah. So
that was the biggest. Yeah. That was the next step to the
And UFC. It was like, I was like, awesome. This is going to happen for me. And I then literally was at Canby. I was at Cation Canby's upstairs.
Fearless MMA, guys. Fearless MMA.
Yeah. I was on the mat there, and you'll remember him. I can't remember his name. Really built, really built. Akeem.
That's it. Yeah.
And he was heavyweight, and I was at the time fighting at 84. Middleweight. So 84, and he took me down, but kind of manhandled me and tore my my medial collateral in my knee, tore my ACL, and I just thought, this is not right. And it took me like 3-4 months just to even start moving. Anyway, then I got kind of back into it, had another fight camp, got ready for another fight camp, and I remember the guy pulling out on the day, pulling out nearer it, and Mark just said to me, "There's nothing you can do. There's nothing we can do. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Like but we'll get you another one soon." And then nothing, and I just went off the rails, but I just thought I need to have something to fall back on. So this is probably where, like, did I believe in myself? I did. Did I have peer pressure from the outside world saying you need a career, you need a job, you need this? And I was a personal qualified. I was trained as a PT, so I didn't have loads of clients. My focus was just do the work so you can train. And I thought, right, if I spend some time now building a bit of a business, then I've got work and I can do this fight thing. Yeah. And work took more. I knew how much it took to be competitive at MMA, and I wasn't just gonna do it for fun. Yeah. I've got to do it. And it took two sessions a day normally. Sometimes 3 sessions a day training.
Let me interrupt you there. When we're talking about 2 sessions a day, it's not 2 sessions a day a mile down the road. It was 2 sessions a day. We were traveling.
I was traveling.
We were traveling. At the time, me and you were doing lift shares with Dave as well. Yeah. We were traveling to Birmingham Wrestling in Birmingham.
Yeah, Perry Bar.
Perry Bar.
It's not just, but it's the side of Birmingham.
Yeah, Fearless MMA at the Jewellery Quarter in Birmingham. I was doing my stand-up up in Leeds. You were doing your stand-up, obviously, with elsewhere. So we were doing a lot of traveling twice a day on top of. Yeah. We weren't sponsored.
No.
At the time. I wasn't sponsored. You weren't sponsored.
I had a sponsor from Trek Nutrition.
Yeah.
This is before social media days. I wasn't even on Facebook back then.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I think my last fight, I wasn't even on social media on my last fight. I was, because I'd gone away to the Isle of Wight and come back. So I lived on. So I was, but I was late to all of this. So what I mean is, when I was back then, it was like.
1 minute. You just brought Apple Mac this week as well. So there you go. He's finally got himself an Apple Mac as well, a laptop.
I got a laptop. Well, that's a funny. Well, we'll go to the journey of travelling. But I lost. I did lose all technology at one time, because I got my car. Anyway, but no. So where are we? We've done that, and it was just blessed to have the right people, time. Yeah. And it was trained. So I stepped away from.
After the injury,
after the pull-out, I stepped away. Loved the fitness, so I've always trained. I've always stayed fit. But sometimes when you haven't got that focus,
it's hard to stay in the game.
It's hard to also train for something, because I was always trained for the fight. The guys do it, and I always used to think, like, and I still have this kind of work ethic, I want to have more capacity than my opponent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to drag him into the deeper rounds, and if I can keep moving, like, don't get me wrong, I get in the if you're good technique, first few rounds, if you're super explosive, you could see him off there and you could be angling that. I always used to angle, like, I remember Mark always saying it, I was more of a wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy, but being on your back is plan B, but if that's your plan A, happy day, but it would still be plan B. So my whole game was box, stand up, clinch, dirty box, take them down, keep top position, and if you happen to be in a real bad scenario and you're swept on your back, happy days, you're actually really comfortable here. So it was always that kind of mentality. So I always thought, if I can be super fit and drag them into the last rounds, I'll dictate, or the whole Randy Couture kind of like dictate the pace, like you're in control. So I used to train really hard, and then stepping away from that, when I focused on the actual personal training, I found it hard just to train for me, not for a fight. And we've spoke about this in the past. I put weight on. I went up to about 108 kilograms. So when I fought at 84 and I was up at 108 kilograms, it wasn't all, it wasn't muscle mass, I was overweight. I moved away with my wife to the Isle of Wight, where she was from. We met in Coventry, and we moved away. And the only martial art I kept and I wanted to get back into was jiu-jitsu. So the whole time I'd still kind of been training off and on.
How long were you on and off for? Like, for what went through your head in sense? I know you're saying obviously you didn't have the goals of competing and stepping away from the sport, etc. But to go from 84 to 108, like, what was going through your head at the time, and how long did you have? In what time period was that?
It must be about a 2 to 3 year time period.
Right. Okay.
I reckon.
Yeah.
And the weight really was the classic, like, I want to get strong. So I was lifting weights. I was eating calories, so it's that classic eat big to be big. But neglect, but also going back to, like, back when we were doing this. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a nutritionist. I know all the stuff now. I practice what I preach now. Back then, like, we used to cut for fights by just like dropping like all your carbs. You do anything to make the weight. And even though, like, and that's when I stepped away from the sport, I learned more about what I learned more about what I was doing, and actually up my knowledge in that kind of area. But like, I would weigh in. I wasn't one of these people, I know this guy was, go to Nando's straight away and put about 20k back on. but I legitimately, after my last fight, went away and I weighed in at 84, and I came back and I remember weighing myself a week after a holiday, and I put 10 kilograms on, because it was all or nothing. And I think I'm an all or nothing kind of person. So I just ate and drank and did whatever I wanted for that week, and I put the weight back on. And then, like I said, I was going to get ready for the next fight. Injuries happen. You cut down, like, the injury happened. So actually, sorry, the fight pull-out was first, then the injury, and that's when I stopped training.
Fair enough.
So that was the combo. So it was the fight pull-out, the injury. I'm going to build my career. I'll come back to training, and I never transitioned all the way back in.
Makes sense, because I think you're going to hear it now, guys, but a lot of people are probably feeling this right now, because we're coming out of this pandemic. A lot of people are stuck at homes. A lot of people haven't been training, and a lot of people's mindsets are all over the place. But you went through that, and then something triggered in your head, because I remember seeing you on social media, by the way, when you were obviously at your heaviest, started competing again in jiu-jitsu. But then next time I saw you, you were chiseled. I thought, no disrespect to your previous JD, but you were in better shape then than you were when you fought, in my opinion. Yeah. Just from an outside view.
I learned more.
Yeah.
So I learned about nutrition. So that was the thing. Before, when I was fighting, my weight cuts were extreme. My mindset was, I remember listening to Hendrix, what's his name? Not Jimi Hendrix, but the fighter. He was the heavy, he was the, band, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he basically said one time, if you told me to eat glass and it would make me fitter, I would. And that was the kind of mindset we were in. So I used to think, don't like strip your calories or strip your carbs and train really hard and lose muscle, and you just lost weight to make the weight cut. When I got back into my training, I was going to the Isle of Wight BJJ school, who is a sister school, should I say, or a branch of Mill Hill. Okay. Nick Brooks, so Roger Great. So it's like a chain. It's a chain. So we used to go off the island, train. I've been very blessed to train with Nick used to come. So Nick Brooks used to come down to the island. I've been very blessed that I trained with Daniel Strauss of the jiu-jitsu. Like I say, once or twice would come down. But that's the people we were kind of mirroring and rolling with when we could go from the island to the mainland. I got back into my training. I'd learnt my nutrition, my PT, everything that I wanted to do. And then I started to compete jiu-jitsu wise I used to have to weigh in at 80, 88, 87 with the gi. So I used to have to hold the gi. So I used to weigh myself in the mornings. I had one of the lightweight gis at 1K. So then I lived life though at that weight.
Perfect.
But again, going back to what you said about people in this time, I had a goal. Now, it's tough when we haven't got a goal. I now train for different reasons.
Of course.
I now train to be the healthiest version of myself for my wife, for my family, for the people around me. I believe that if I don't look after myself, then how can I look after other people? Yeah. Doesn't mean that it's the forefront of my mind, and I don't think I've got to train today before the needs of others, but I have to, for me, train once a day. Yeah. Like if I don't train once a day, it can go, well, I didn't train today, I won't train tomorrow, and momentum can slip. So for me, I just think I'm going to train today, even if it's an hour walk. But you have to keep your eyes on the prize. And back then, the prize was, back when it was fighting days, I've got to win the fight, but I've got to weigh 84. So whatever I do, I make my weight. I make my weight. Yeah. I wasn't going to be a guy that didn't make, so I'd make my weight. Then I got to my jiu-jitsu kind of when I was competing and doing stuff like that, and I was very, won some stuff, lost some stuff, but was competitive. Yeah. And it changed to, I need to keep my weight here now and be healthy. Yeah. So that kind of branched me into like, okay, I now have to keep my weight down. I want to be as fit as I can at this weight. Yeah. And then when I stopped competing jiu-jitsu, it kind of went, right, don't lose this, because you don't want to go back to learn from the lessons, right?
Not the 108 JD.
Learn from the lessons. You need to have a goal or something. And now my goal is to be the fittest, healthiest I can be for as long as I can be. So longevity, quality of life. I train for those reasons. Yeah, perfect. Which is in my mind powerful.
More powerful than what it was back.
Yeah.
We had different goals back then. But it's so much more, and I think that comes without making us sound older, but that also comes with age, because the older we're getting, we're realising that, and it's important to look after ourselves, because we can't recover like we used to back then.
Everything was about fitness for me back then. Everything was about the fight, everything was about that. Now, I actually realise that for me, my life is so much more valuable, so much more to me than what the fitness space is. And I know this is tough. We both work in gyms. I look to sell my product of my training. I look to do, so it's weird because I'm actually saying training isn't the be all and end all. Like life is so much. If you hate training, I'm going to contradict myself now. If you hate training, don't train. But what I would say to you is, what is your life going to look like if you don't train?
Exactly.
You've got to learn sometimes I like the saying, love what is good, hate what is bad. Yeah. And that can mean different things to different people. But I love being able to run, being able to cycle, go for a swim. Let's go for a climb up there, Pindi. Let's go for a hike up the mountain. Oh, let's not just deadlift, let's do that. Oh, someone's needs that picking up, or whatever it might be. I want to be able to do that, of course, the best I can. So life is, but if I don't train for it, I've got to love training. Absolutely. And love the hurt, and love the pain and love all that because it helps me in life.
You've got to condition your mind to love it.
Yeah.
And that's with everyone. You've got to condition yourselves to get
love
into
what,
that.
Love what
it's
is.
one of the things that we everyone, don't care, your old woman, young kids, you're going to need this.
Is hard work good for you?
Yeah.
Hard work's going to build your business. Hard work's going to pay the bills. Hard work's going to do all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Does hard work suck at times? Yes. Do you have to have late nights sometimes? Yes. Do you have to wake up? I'm coming from a place where I haven't got a child. I haven't got a family. It's something that we're looking and to do and all that kind of stuff. And I get people go through trials and tribulations. I know it's really hard. And in lockdown, I know there's been it's hard. It's been going to be harder for some people. Yeah, it's going to be a spectrum. But it's time to take control and actually go, do you know what? It's going to be hard, but it doesn't have to. I say it's contradicting myself. It doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah,
it could just be going for a walk for 45 minutes. But actually, it's hard for your mind to do it. Yeah. Look, sometimes, and this is a David Goggins saying,
go for it.
But like I heard him say this, and it resonated with me. I'll do workouts in my garage or go for a run or do whatever I do. And I used to get it when sparring before a Shark Tank. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I was listening to this little voice in my head saying, it's going to be hard. You're going to get tough. Like, I've cried on the mat before. I've cried in workout. It's going to get, but actually, once you push through that barrier, it's so much worth it. But I can spend 20 minutes before I put my trainers on.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, it's going to suck.
You know what's
it's going to
coming.
hurt.
You know what's coming.
Yeah, but you've just got to, I know it's easiest at heart. You've just got to go, do you know what? It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be. But again, this is now for people watching this. I'm not trying to preach here and say go run really hard. Like, what is relevant for you? Like I said it when I was teaching your class earlier. Like, what is functionality? What that word functionality in fitness gets thrown around, or functional fitness. Like, for me, I want to make you meet the demands of your surrounding environment, whatever that might mean. If that means picking up kids, if that means you work on a construction site, if that means like going for walks, or what do you want to do in your life? And let's train around that, because that's functional for you, and we can get you there. Do the movements cross over? Yeah, we can squat, we can hinge, we can pull, we can push. These things in training can help you do. But if I don't make you realise what these movements are to help you, it is just dull. Like, why am I doing push-ups? Like, how's that going to help me? Whatever. But if I say, like, let's do some squats in our workout today, and it's going to help you picking up your children, or putting things on shelves, or save your lower back. How many people got lower back problems? It's because you don't squat properly. If you start and actually make it personal to you, you're not training for me. Yeah. It's not the coach. You're training for yourself. I've gone off subject. Sorry.
No, absolutely. Linked with that, though, I know it's funny you should say that, because I've just recently saw this advert. I can't remember where I saw it. I don't know if it's TV or on social media. You've probably seen it, of an old man, very old man. Kettlebell. Yeah. And what was his purpose? Why was he lifting that? I was watching this advert thinking, why does he keeps lifting it up like that? And at the end of it is to lift his grandchild up, or to put the star on top of the tree. And I was like, whoa.
Keep your eye on the prize.
That's where it hit me. But linked with what you just said there, training can suck. It can suck, right? But if you can get through the workout, like I try and always, every morning, as soon as I wake up, blast the workout out. No matter how much I don't want to wake, get out of my comfortable bed with the duvet wrapped around me. But if you can, I was doing this in class on Monday morning. We did a horrible pyramid workout where we ended up doing something along the lines of 200 burpees.
Sounds amazing.
But put it this way, if I turn around and said to you, JD, we're going to do 200 burpees, you're going to be like, whoa. It's going to be back to that analogy, that mindset of Shark Tank again, taking your time. I don't want to do that, but I didn't tell the group, this is what we're doing. We went in the flow, we went in that mindset, let's get it done, and we got into the zone of training, and then boom, before you know it, 45 minutes later, 200 burpees later, we've done it. That was first thing on a Monday morning. We've done that. What more can we achieve in that day?
So for me,
it help you, not just in...
Tick it off.
Yeah, tick it off.
Boom. What's the next job to get done?
There you go.
What's the classic one about the Marine in America? Why does he make his bed every morning? Why does he make his bed every morning? Because for him, making his bed is a task. I've completed one task. What's the next task? Drink 500 milliliters of water, whatever it might be.
Tick
the next thing off. What's the next thing I do? before you know it, you've got more ticks and you've achieved more positivities in your day, rather than the first things across. And that's why I like to train every single day, because if I don't do it one day, I didn't do it yesterday, I won't do it today, and
become a ripple effect.
Ripple effect. So you just got to keep your. I always say, keep your eye on the prize, keep it in focus. It doesn't have to be killer workouts, but you'll learn. Well, for me, I learned to love the hurt.
I remember that saying, because this is where we're going to get onto now, and I think it's important for everyone to hear this, okay? Because I remember saying to you, I think it was around 2016, 17, if the workouts that you put us through in the gym, if we had known that back in our youth when we were competing, we would have been
different.
We would have been a different breed of fighters. But obviously we know it now. It's helping us now in general life, which is great. And everyone that JD has trained, we've trained, I apply your concepts in our training programs. And everyone that I'm training, they can feel the benefits and the reaps and the benefits from it. It doesn't matter where they are, why they're doing it, but where did that come from? Because, I know, but tell the audience, where did that come from? Because I know you've applied concepts after fighting of what you've learnt whilst you're at a place like Virgin, managing that place there, being a PT there, going on to training with the likes of Nathan, then moving over to the CrossFit. You've applied everything, combined it together, and that's where Stay Ready JD comes into play. So explain to the audience how, because I know it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I know, but
so for me, like the Stay Ready brand is basically stay ready for anything. It goes back to my story. There's a bit of a message behind it in the sense of the jiu-jitsu days, like the fighting, you've got to be ready for anything that's thrown in you at life. And what I'll do is, with the workouts and the stuff I do, set myself non-negotiables, or set myself things that I'm going to do. For instance, like I'm super dyslexic. I don't like emails. I don't like doing the stuff. Well, same as like doing the Shark Tank runs, or say, like you said, burpees, 200 burpees, or if you keep putting off the things you don't want to do, you ain't going to get better at them. So for me, I applied the stuff that I learnt through fitness to my work. Get up, do your emails. Get up, do the things you don't want to do, because actually you're going to get success and benefit from doing that. And it just, the more you do something, the better you become at it, not just physically, mentally. You challenge yourself to, I did a workout for you guys earlier, and if you haven't done it, check the workout out. And it's a 5-minute round where I just ask you not to put your knee on the floor. You can rest in an A-frame. You remember these drills, right?
I'm just feeling sick thinking about it. But
it's a 5-minute round. All I want you to do is not drop to a knee. Now, if you do, I'm not here to blast you. I'm not here to go, punishment. It's cool. You didn't do it. Like, end of. Like, let's move. There's no point dwelling on negativity. Let's move past. You're not going to do it next time. But the more times you do it and actually go, I'm going to make it through that round, that sense of like achievement that you get from that is euphoric, and it really does translate into life. So all my sessions, I try to push people physically, mentally, to challenge themselves, because actually, ultimately, that's where success is going to happen. And you can take that into work, into life, into your bit. Like I said, that's the thing about non-negotiables, right? I love my wife. I would give my life for my wife. Like, put me 6 feet under before end of.
100%,
End of.
Powerful,
Can you like, that's powerful. But would someone do it? And sometimes, like, I know it sounds, I'm on that. I'm not going to put a knee down. Like, I know this is drastic.
Mindset,
Put a knee down. She's gone, bro. Put a knee down. Can you do it for 5 minutes? And sometimes you might pick a challenge which is too hard. Like, I remember doing a handstand hold. I've done it. So I was in Australia, and we'll get to that story. We've run out of time. I can't believe we've waffled on for this long. I've done a 6-minute handstand hold in Australia with a guy called Dirk Gardner, who's just next level. Like, again, this type of training with Zoo, Nathan Helberg, it's very much, it aligned with everything that I did with my MMA, everything that I did with my jiu-jitsu, everything that I kind of applied into my life, like I already had that kind of mindset, and actually they did the same thing, and they're on the Gold Coast of Australia, but like we would do like a handstand hold, and he'd be like, we're going to hold this for 7 minutes, like, or whatever it might be.
Wow.
We've got to get up and do it. And did you sometimes come down? Yes. Like, does that mean I'm a bad person? No. But I'm going to chat. And we got up to like a 6 minute, and we text each other now saying, whenever we think the other person's being not soft, I don't want to use that term or language, but whenever we think the other person just needs to like
step it up,
7 minutes, and we just text each other 7 minutes, and it's just that whole thing of like, do you know what? You didn't think you could do 3 minutes, you didn't think you could do 4 minutes, you didn't think you could do, step it up. You can do more than you think you can.
Fair play.
And if you fail, at least you tried. And that's the big thing for people. Absolutely. I'm going into this new YouTube venture.
Yep.
Where I'm kind of going to different fitness gyms. I'm going to different coffee shops. I enjoy my coffee, like I said earlier. I enjoy my cakes. Like, don't get me wrong, I want to keep healthy and fit, but that's a balance at the same time. I don't deprive myself from a donut or from a sugary
cheesecake.
A cheesecake or whatever. Like, I was in New York. I was very blessed to work in New York with Zoo and traveling and fitness. Did I have junior cheesecake nearly every night? Yes, I did, because I was in New York. But did I make sure I trained really hard in the day? And it's a balance.
Absolutely.
If you enjoy these things, do it. But if it's going to be a detriment to your health, a detriment to your life, what do you love more?
Exactly.
Cheesecake or life?
Yeah.
And that's very simplistic, I know, but
a lot of people make the wrong decision.
It boils down sometimes. I know things aren't black and white.
Yep.
It is shades of grey. It is balance. But sometimes it is black and white. Do
True.
I do this? Do I not do this?
But sometimes it gets clouded as well with people's judgment, so that's what it is. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And in terms of the training concepts involved with Stay Ready, can we have a little debrief about that?
So with Stay Ready, I like to think of it as no stone unturned in your fitness journey. So we'll do sometimes aerobic pieces, which might be a 5K run. It might be 30 minutes row for whatever it might be. We also do the high intensity short interval sprints on monostructural or cardio kit. It could be strength training, Olympic lifting. It might be bodyweight gymnastics. It could be skill work, learning double unders or learning handstand holds or walks. But I think that I'm CrossFit level 1 qualified, and something that they say is constantly varied functional movements. I get functional movements, and we can talk about that. They class functional movements as moving a large load over a broad distance. So i.e. a snatch, taking a barbell from the floor overhead, that's a functional movement. Right. It's from a big distance. Doing a bicep curl isn't necessarily functional. But then I would argue, if in your day-to-day job you need to be doing this kind of stuff, like, is it worth me strengthening? Is it functional for you? Probably, but on a whole concept, is it functional? So they say constantly varied functional movements done at high intensity. That's the CrossFit terminology of what it is. So doing my level 1, doing my level 1 and 2 in bodyweight zoo conditioning, where I've been very blessed to have worked in Australia, New Zealand, China, New York. I've presented in Dubai, India, all teaching zoo training to PTs and fitness coaches. So I've been on the other end of teaching, doing all that, and then having the background of getting ready for a fight, the mindset, all that kind of stuff rolled into one. That's where everything comes with Stay Ready. I just want to help people, everyday people, mums, dads, or athletes. If you're an athlete, I believe everyone should be doing certain movements in their life 100%. To help 100%. Them. But the load, the intensity, the rep schemes can all vary. Yeah. What you might lift compared to what I might lift compared to what someone else might can always. But should they be looking to get this movement? Yeah, 100%. Doesn't have to be done. Could they just use a broomstick, a PVC pipe? I've taught you before with just a PVC pipe. Yeah. I want you to get the movement. But do it with the PVC. You've got to do it. I want that movement. I want you to learn that movement to help you. And did it give you a hard workout when you're holding that overhead squat? 100% it did. But it's all relative to you. And that's where me as a coach on the program, you get given 3 video workouts. So my program, what I do at the moment with my clients is they're actually all on the same program.
Okay.
So I'll write 5 workouts a week that I want them to do, but they can vary the load, they can vary to a degree the rep scheme, but it's like a lot of it would be like 1 minute of squats. I want you to get 8 to 12 reps. If they've got a dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, they can do like front rack, they could do goblet. If that's too much, just do air squats. But I want you to do air squats or goblet squats or front rack squats for 1 minute. Let's move into push-ups or floor press with the dumbbells, bent over rows, or whatever movement I think they want, or I believe they need, program it. So they get 3 workouts like that, where it's a video, where they get to watch it, pause it, do the movement, come back. I'll give them coaching points. And then I'll do 2 live over Zoom, just body weight training. So it's like follow along, but actually me with you coaching as well.
Where can people find you, JD?
It's on, you can go stay ready, stayready.training on Instagram. My personal account is jamesdixon.jd, and Facebook James Dixon. I can't believe we've got it. I can't believe how fast we've gone, bro.
That's what happens when we have fun. Quick question before we finish it there.
Yeah.
JD, I've known you a very long time. I know the level you're training at, and I was saying it to the guys here, you're a beast. Yeah, everything you do. Can we see you later this year competing in some of the CrossFit games?
Oh, well, look, the game's not. I think the game, it's always nice to have a goal and a thing. I will be competing, but it will be like more at local boxes to begin with, or amateur competitions, and let's see where things go. I'd love to say one day, but like for instance, the open workout. So at the moment, the CrossFit season's just started with the online open, and just to put into like where I am with the people in the world, like I didn't complete the workout. People are completing the workout in like 4:40 is a 15-minute time cap. Best in the world are completing it like in 12 minutes. I reckon I needed probably another 2.5 minutes to complete, maybe 2 minutes to complete the workout. Do you know? So their Olympic lifts are there, but fitness-wise, like as far as like holding like rowing machines or body weight push-ups and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll be competing at local boxes and amateur competitions. A goal for me would be to love to step on. It's called the sanctional. It used to be like sanctionals. I don't know how the CrossFit. They've just been brought out by a new business, by a new. The business has just changed hands. Okay. Then obviously with the COVID, about all the different events around the world, and to get actually, the games. I'm old enough and big enough to go, this is never going to happen. Okay. But as far as like sanctional floors, if I could get on a team, I don't think I'll ever be good enough to get on the floor as an individual. But if I've got a good team around me, I believe I could be supported. I just need to up my Olympic lift proficiency and keep building my fitness and strength. Do you know what I mean? Like I am miles off the Matt Frasers of the world. Like they are different breed. That's like me thinking I could go fight Floyd Mayweather, and you see these things on YouTube, right? Yeah. You see the YouTubers, or even not even that. You see the Conor McGregor, like he's legit a fighter, legit boxing. Put him in the ring with someone like Floyd Mayweather, it's a different standard. So I'm nowhere near. I am definitely more of a get paid Sunday league, maybe maybe a little bit higher level athlete than what they are, but and that's just the truth. And that's just the truth. Perfect. Doesn't mean that hard work can't get you there, but
no, fair enough. And to wrap it up, what are your goals for the rest of this year, 21, before Christmas?
So I would love to, like I said, growing this YouTube thing that I've just started to do. That's a goal of mine. I also want to grow my online training and stay ready group. I'm going to keep that going. That we started in the pandemic because obviously gyms weren't open. What can we do? So I've started that. Goal is to keep that going, grow that group to as many as I can realistically. But I'm always, every month when we take on new clients, we've been very successful with every month with taking on more clients. But I'm very responsible, I think, is the word I'm looking for. I don't want the quality of the product just to become a generic push out there, not actually know who's doing my program, not care about them. So it's a fine line between actually like what's sustainable, what's feasible, and where can we go from there. So build those two businesses, and then just actually be a better husband for my wife as well. I think we can always I think we can always improve.
Loz is a very lucky girl, man.
My wife is an unbelievable woman, and every day she shows me ways that I can be a better person. She shows me so much love, so much forgiveness, and I just need to work on my patience, my caring, and really I want to work on that as well.
Awesome, man. And hopefully one day we'll get Loz on here as well and get her doing it, because she's got some amazing stories, and with what she's achieved as well, it's unbelievable. But there we have it, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, you can follow JD on, just remind them again.
I can't even see it there. StayReady.training.